Yo, what up, world? 502 King Paul coming to y'all with another video, man. If I got on this same little shirt that I just had on in the other one, just use your common sense. I'm making these videos back to back, man. I'm making them back to back. But I wanted to make this video because, for one, I was having this conversation yesterday, right? And it's talking about like what made me get to the point where I was serious about stopping with smoking any kind of weed. You know, what made me get to that point, man? And I'm going to get to that, but let me tell you about the first couple of times I failed. Because I see some people that were saying, you know, that they on their grind and, you know, they trying not to, and they're doing all this different stuff, and they end up relapsing and, you know, falling back into it. So first off, I want to tell y'all about a couple of my failures before I got to the success, just to give y'all some encouragement, man. To give y'all some encouragement, because sometimes you're going to fall down. Just got to pick yourself back up. So the first time that I stopped smoking weed, man, I had some things going on legally, and I did not want to smoke. I did not want to jeopardize what I had going on. So I stopped smoking for about a month. And during this time, I did what you absolutely should not do. If you're trying to be successful, if you're trying to share these bad habits, you can't really afford to do this, man. I was drinking every day. I just kept on every day. Instead of getting high, I was getting drunk. So I was still avoiding the things that were going on inside of my life that I didn't want to deal with. I just didn't want to deal with the things. I didn't want to deal with the stress, the pressure, the depression, all this different stuff that was going on inside of my life. I didn't want to deal with it. So I put down one demon, picked up another one. And I'm not demonizing the drug itself. I'm just saying, for me personally, inside of my life, it was a demon for me. It was something, it was a stronghold, something that was holding on to me. And I just didn't want to let go of this addiction or any addiction in my life. And I think that's the main reason why I failed. And I just picked it right back up as soon as I could, because I never wanted to stop in the first place. And when I started back, you know, I just said, forget the alcohol. You know, I would drink every now and then, but I got right back to doing what it was that I wanted to do in the first place, and that's smoke. So that was the first time, man. And then for years, I never tried to stop smoking again. I would always think, man, I need to stop for this reason. I need to stop for this reason. I need to stop for that reason. But I would just keep on going and keep on going. And I never really gave it a good attempt at stopping that habit, man. Up until a couple years ago, about 2 years ago, man, I decided, okay, I want to stop smoking. I want to stop smoking. And don't get me wrong on the time frame. It could be a little less than 2. I don't know. But I know I said it was within the past couple of years. I said, I want to stop smoking. I've had enough. I'm running myself around crazy. I'm going in, you know, these areas I don't need to be going to. I'm spending too much time and money going to go get this stuff. I'm wasting time sitting around after I get high. It's just, I got too many responsibilities, too much stuff that I got to do. I got to start taking this more serious, man. I got to start taking this thing called life a lot more serious than what I am. And you know, I don't mean just not having a good time. I just mean, but you can't be lackadaisical. You can't just be sitting around and just, you know, I'm just going to smoke every day. I'm just going to do this and not take care of my business. I was getting too caught up in the drug, man. I started off using the drug, and after a while, I felt like the drug was just using me. So I had to stop, man. So I'm talking to someone, and they tell me that the way that they was able to stop smoking weed is that they started praying. They started praying to God. And I would hear them for, you know, years leading up to this. So they stopped smoking weed because they was praying. They was praying nonstop. They was praying to God, asking God to take it away from them. And I just never did it. I was like, in the back of my head, you know, I know God works, but it's like, I didn't think that would work for me. Honestly, I didn't think it would work for me. But when I started doing it, I found that every time I was smoking, I would just get this heavy guilt. I would start seeing stuff, hallucinating, all kinds of stuff. I would just feel like, man, how can I let myself down? How can I let God down? How can I promise that I'm going to try my hardest? And I just felt this horrible feeling every time I would smoke. So it got to the point, man, I said, all right, I'm going to stop. So I stopped smoking weed, man. I stopped smoking weed for a few months, and I ended up relapsing. But I'm going to tell you, I was more serious about quitting that time than I was the first time, but I wasn't 100% committed. And I'm going to tell y'all why, because I kept a very small amount of weed inside of my drawer. And it was kind of like a comfort thing for me. Like, okay, if I got this within my reach, I felt like basically, how can I put this? I felt like basically, I remember those times that I would get anxiety, that I would get really heavy anxiety if I did not have any weed. As a smoker, and especially if you're a heavy smoker, you know that feeling that you have when you run out? I mean, like you out. Nobody's answering the phone. You can't get to it. You keep on calling. Nobody has none. You know that feeling when you go out completely? That used to just drive me crazy. That used to just have me feeling like a straight junkie, man. I'm gonna be completely honest. It had me feel like a straight junkie. So I just kept a little bit just to feel comfortable, just to feel like, okay, I got it there if I really needed it. And I left it alone, honestly, man, for months. You know, it was at least a couple months. And then one day I gave in. I lasted all that time, then I gave in. Started smoking again, man. Started smoking. And that lasted me a little bit. And then, you know what? I said, I'm really done with this. When it got to the point where, because my friends and some of my family, they already knew that I was supposed to stop smoking, and I started back, it was kind of like, you know, someone was looking at me sideways like, dude, I thought you said you was done. Thought you said this was over with for you. You know, you one of them people that say you're going to do something and you don't do it. And then I felt embarrassed, and I felt like I was letting myself down, and like I was letting God down again. And I remember smoking one time, man, and I remember in my head just saying, this is my last time. This is it. I can't feel like this no more. I don't like the way this is making me feel no more. And when I got to that point, I flushed the weed that I had left. I flushed it. I didn't give it away, because even though I don't mind, you know, if other people want to smoke, you can smoke, but I'm not going to give you anything to support your habit, especially a habit that I'm trying to stop. It's like if I think I need to stop smoking cigarettes for my health, and then I give my cigarettes to somebody else, that it's just, you know, why would you do that for? Why would I take my bad habit and give it to someone else? You want to go buy your cigarettes, you go buy your cigarettes on your own. You want to go buy your weed, you go buy your weed on your own. But I'm not giving you anything. So I took the weed, dumped it inside the toilet, flushed it, and that was it, man. I never looked back. I never looked back. I went through all the crazy dreams. I went through all the anxiety. I went through all of the different mood swings and all that stuff and readjusting to life. But I can tell you, man, my life has been so much better since I stopped smoking. And I'm over a year at this point. I'm so happy that I don't do it anymore. I'm not telling nobody else what to do with their life. If you don't want to stop smoking, keep on talking, man. Do what you want to do. I'm not trying to make no grown person do something that they don't want to do. You want to smoke weed? Smoke weed. But for me, I'm done. I know what works best for me. So many people have came to me, well, you can just do it in moderation. You can just use this. You can just use that. You can just do this instead. You can just do it at night, or you can just do it on the weekends. It doesn't work for me, man. It doesn't work for me. I don't want that. Man, I take pills now, like regular, not prescription, but like just regular pills, man, like Tylenol, ibuprofen, all that. That stuff has an effect on me now. I get sleepy sometimes. I get, you know, just kind of groggy, low energy. If that does that to me now, I couldn't imagine what hitting a blunt is going to do to me. I can't imagine what popping a pill, a perk, a tab, you know, ecstasy, any of that stuff would do to me now. Drinking lean, any of that, because my tolerance is just too low for it now, man. My tolerance was super high when I stopped smoking weed. That was part of the problem there. I had to keep on smoking more and more and more. But, man, it's just not for me. It's not for me. And if you are on the journey right now and you're trying to stop smoking weed, man, just go for it. Don't come up with excuses of, well, what if this happens? Maybe this will happen. I'm going to feel like this. I'm going to feel like that. You never know until you try. That's with anything in life, man. If you want to do it for you, then do it. If you want to do it for you, then do it. Or if you have a reason outside of yourself that is going to really push you, motivate you, if you have children, if you have a certain job, you got a certain career you're trying to chase, certain opportunities where you're like, I need this. I need this. I need this more than I need that. Man, go for it. I'm praying for you, and I know you can overcome it because I did. I'm not an anomaly. I'm not just special because I stopped smoking. I don't need an award or nothing like that. It's not just something that only I can do. This is something that anybody can do if you put your mind to it. And I'm praying for you. I'm in your corner. Keep on going. You got this. It's 502 King Paul. If y'all like anything about the video, anything at all, take a moment, go down below, like the video, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. Until next time, I'm out.